Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the next video in the series of videos about learning Arabic, Qaida, and in this video we are going to cover how different words are formed and how different letters look like when they are into a combined form as in a word. So we will see that. I will show you how each word is composed by decomposing it into individual letters. Just a fun fact about today. Today at Maghrib time in Norway, Eid al-Adha has started. So tonight is the night of Eid al-Adha and tomorrow is the day of Eid al-Adha. So Eid Mubarak to all of the viewers. Right, let's get started. This is going to be a 3-page exercise in a 3-video segment, so to speak. It will cover 3 pages of these word combinations. Yeah, so let's start. I will try to show you by writing each word, and at least one viewer has told me that this has been very helpful, so I will continue to use that method. So the first word you see on the right, excuse me, the first letter you see on the rightmost is Alif, and it just looks like that. Alif, it's just a straight line down. That's Alif. And then comes Lam Alif. The next letter or the next word is Lam Alif. And I will write the word actually first of all as it's written on the right. Lam Alif, something like this, right? And what it is made up of are 2 letters, Lam, forgive me, Lam and Alif. That makes up Lam Alif. Here, Lam Alif, and this is also Lam Alif. Excuse me. The next word is also Lam Alif. So that's written in a slightly different form. Something like this. Like so. So this is also Lam Alif. Made up of Lam plus Alif. Lam Alif. The next word is Ba Alif. So first I'll write how it's written and then I'll decompose it. This is Ba Alif. It's actually made up of the words Ba, full words Ba and Alif, and you basically take the first section of Ba as I showed you in the previous video. When Ba is in the beginning of the word, you just use the first part of Ba and combine it with Alif like so. Ba Alif, so it becomes Ba Alif like so. So this is Ba Alif. Then comes Lam Alif again. So this is another way of writing Lam Alif. It would be some very long lines with a small something like this, Lam Alif. And again, this is a combination of Lam plus Alif, right? So this is Lam Alif. This is just a way of writing it. Just recognize it. This is a way. The next letter is just lam. There is no word. It's just the letter lam. Then is another form of lam alif. It's just several ways of writing it in different calligraphy methods or different writing systems. So this is another way of writing lam alif. So first I'll write how it's written. It's like so, and then the alif comes from here and joins it here, lam alif. Right? So I don't have that special pen which is used to write these letters and words on the right. These are special nib pens with a little slanting cut on the nib, and that is used to write these letters. I don't have that. I have this single digital pen, and in this software I don't have that feature of using that kind of nib, so I'm restricted. So this is lam alif, and it's just made up of lam and alif. That's it. Excuse me. All right. So the next word combination is lam ha. Two letters lam and ha appear here. So I will just write them first as they are written. I can't use the exact calligraphy method, but I'm going to just demonstrate it to you. This is lam and ha. It's made up of lam, full letters lam and ha. And how it's written is that the lam, the first part of lam, is something like this, and then you attach a ha with it, so it becomes lam ha, something like this. All right, let's move on. Then is again lam alif, which we have already seen right here, so there is no difference, it's just the same. So I'm going to skip this one, and then I'm going to cover this word, which is ba lam ba. So it's actually not a word. None of these are actually any word. They don't mean anything except a couple of them, but for the sake of this lesson I would call them words because they are a combination of letters. When I said a couple of them mean something, so this word lam alif here, lam alif, that actually means la, as in no. So no in English is equivalent to la in Arabic. Allah. Okay, lam ha, we have covered lam ha. Lam alif we are going to skip. Ba lam ba. So I'm going to first write ba lam ba here. Ba lam ba. Right? And it's actually made of the letters ba, lam, ba. But when in a word in the word formation, when ba is in the first place in a word combination, ba appears like this, the first part only, and then lam also appears somewhat small, and then the last letter normally is written full, which actually becomes ba, and then you extend lam, and then you make lam, and then you make another ba. So ba lam ba. All right, next is the letter kaf, and it's just written just like that. So there's one way of writing kaf, and then this is another way of writing kaf. And the reason they showed you this here is, or I show you these letters here, is because there are two more combinations coming up, or several combinations actually. So let's deal with this one. This is kaf ba. First I write how exactly it's written. So forgive my shivering hand because it's a digital pen. It's a plastic nib, writing on a plastic. So this is kaf ba, and it's made up of kaf plus ba. So you take just the first part of ka, like so, and then you just add a ba with it, and it becomes kaf ba. When you write it fluently, you just join them together. Kaf ba. It doesn't matter if you extend this line here. It's just beautification. Kaf ba. And then comes the next kaf and ba, which is written like this, as you see on the right. Sometimes you'll just see something like this. Kaf ba. It's made of the letters kaf and ba, and exactly as before, you will combine the first part of the word like so, join it with the next letter kaf ba, and if you write it fluently, it becomes like so, kaf ba. All right. Then comes kaf alif. This is a special way of writing kaf alif. So this sign here, as you see, has been glorified here. So you just write just like that. So this is roughly what is visible here, kaf alif. So it's, of course, it's made up of this way of kaf and alif, which becomes kaf alif. And if you notice, this construct is almost similar to this construct, kaf alif again. So there's one way of writing it like so. This is one way. You can also write it starting here, make a round, join it here like a B, then extend the line, kaf alif. This is made up of the words kaf and alif. That becomes first part of ka. Okay, so this is special. So this is a more glorified way of writing this kaf. The line goes up, and then you make a circle, and you take it up. So kaf alif. And of course, I showed you another way of writing this. The easier way is just make a B and go up, kaf alif. And actually here I should have made a plus sign. So kaf, sorry, pencil, kaf plus alif, right. Okay, so we have reached here, kaf alif. I go to the next page. Next is the combination of ba, kaf and ta. I'll write it here first. So this is ba, kaf and ta, and this kaf is like so. It is made up of the letters ba plus kaf plus ta. And in such situations, you take the first part of the first letter, which is ba, and then you join it with the next letter, which is kaf, and then you join it with the last letter, which is ta, right? So this becomes ba, kaf, ta, like so. I need to fix my writing pad, it has some issue. Anyway, so we have covered ba, kaf, ta, this one, and now this is ta, ta, kaf, tha, ta, kaf, tha. So this is tha. Tip of tongue with upper teeth, the tip of upper teeth, the outer edge of upper teeth, tha. So let me first write this as it's written here, ta, kaf, tha, ta, kaf, tha. Is of course made up of the letters ta and the letter kaf and the letter tha. So I'm going to emphasize again that this kaf and this kaf are the same. It's just two different ways of writing it. So I'm going to break it down like so. The first part of ta with two dots on top of it. The middle part is made up of some part of ka, and the last part is tha, which is the full letter. Any letter which is at the end of a word is always full. Ta, kaf, tha. So this will be, in fluent way, it would be ta, kaf, tha. Like so. So we have done ta, kaf and tha. Now we see this is just a letter ba, we know about that. This is just a letter ta, we know about that as well. This is just the letter tha. This is just the letter noon. This is just the letter, individual letter ya. Now comes ba alif, which we have already covered here in the beginning. Ba alif. This is ba alif. The next construct is na, noon alif. So why this is shown here is to help you differentiate. When the dot is beneath this word, it is ba, because ba has the dot beneath it, and noon has the word inside it, as you see. When it is part of a word, then, and it's not the end of the word, then noon appears like so with a dot on the top, on the small vertical line, and I'll show you. So we'll cover this noon alif. Noon alif looks like this as written here. So the dot of noon can appear either right here or in the middle. That's all right. It can be anywhere, doesn't matter. So this is made of the letters noon. Notice it's not a full round and a dot. No, that would be incorrect. So it's just, once again, it's just half. You can think of it as a deep pot, with a dot in it, noon plus alif becomes something like this. Now the noon is in the beginning of the word, so it takes this form, and since it's a noon, so the dot comes on top, not at the bottom. If it goes at the bottom, it will become ba, and an alif, noon alif. So like so. So if I write it fluently, it would be like so. I can write noon alif like this, and I can also write noon alif like this. Both are correct. The dot can be right above this small little vertical line, and the dot can be right in the middle. That's the same. Noon alif. Then comes ta alif. Let me write ta alif. So this is the ta alif you see. Notice these two dots are together, very together. Whenever two dots appear, they are just right next to each other. There is no space in between them. That's a principle which we are going to explore later within these three lessons. So ta alif right here, ta alif. This is made up of the letters ta and alif. So when it's in the beginning of the word, ta takes this form with two dots right next to each other, and an alif joins it, ta alif. So this becomes, in fluent form, it becomes like this. And again, these two dots can be right on the edge here, but they can be in the middle of this construct as this small little plate like construct, this bowl. So ta alif. Then is ya alif, and it's very good that this example is there, because ta has two dots on top, but ya has two dots at the bottom, and they are together. So ya alif is actually made up of the letter ya and alif. And when ya is in the beginning of any word, it takes this form with two dots right next to each other at the bottom, and then there's an alif which joins it, ya alif. In fluent way, you just write just like so, just put two dots beneath, that is ya alif. Then comes tha alif. So tha alif, as it's written on the right, is like so, with three dots here, tha alif. It's made up of two letters, which is tha and alif. And again, when tha is in the beginning, it takes this form, and then there's an alif which joins it. So in a fluent way, you just write just like so, and just put three dots, tha alif. Notice when I put two dots, they are together. When I put three dots, they are also together. If you put two dots separately, then they mean something else, and we will come to that later. Right. All right. We have covered tha alif. Now we go to ba sin. So the way it's written is ba sin, like so. It's made up of two letters, which is ba and sin. So when ba is in the beginning of the word, it takes this form, ba, and sin is at the end of the word, so any letter at the end of any word will retain its full form. So ba sin. In fluent way, it would be Basin. Notice that I put this vertical line a little, gave it a little extra length. So this is just to highlight that this line or this construct is separate from this construct. So these are two different letters, and that is how we highlight. Sometimes we do like this, sometimes we do like this. So you see there's a difference of height between one part and the other part, just to make sure that these two parts are different from each other, so it's easier to recognize. So in the same way it is done here, basin. I'll write one more time. I could have written it like so, but then it's very difficult to see where is sin starting, right? Unless there's a dot, of course, but still a bit difficult. However, when you make it a bit highlighted, you say a bit extra height, only then it's very easy. Basin. It's not like very long line and then you write sin. Then it becomes lam, because lam has the long length. Though it's not alif also, because alif never joins any word in this fashion, ever. Alright, so basin. Next we go to yasin. The reason I'm spending this much time on this breakdown is for newcomers. This is very important to recognize where and how each letter appears. And in the same way we teach our kids, and we learned the same way when we were kids. So this is yasin. It's made up of two words, ya and sin. And since ya takes this form when it's in the beginning of the letter, so that's what I will do here, ya, and I will join sin with it. It's becoming yasin, and I'll give it a little extra height. And this is these lines you can use as reference. So you can start a bit above and you can draw the rest of the scene beneath it. You see that? So that way you are sure that you're writing it correctly. Yasin. Let's go to the next page. Page after. Alright, so we have done yasin. Now we go to noon sin. So here is this word which looks like this. And this is, of course, this is one dot above this line, so definitely it is noon. And it's made up of the letters noon and sin. Oops, this is not a nice scene. Not a nice scene. Alright, noon sin. When noon is in the beginning of the word, it takes this form like so, with one dot here, and then sin joins it. Noon sin. In fluent way it would be written like so, and I'll give it a little extra height just to differentiate it from the rest of the sin. So this is noon sin, this one. Now comes ta sin, which is this one. So I'll write ta sin first at the way it's written. Oops. Ta sin, and of course it's made up of the letters ta and sin. And when ta is in the beginning of the word, it takes this form, ta, and sin is at the end of the word, so it takes the full form, ta sin, and I will just use the same formula for writing ta sin, like so. The next is tha sin. tha, seen, tha, seen. So they are not two scenes, they are tha and seen. Okay, we covered that in the sound sources video. All right, so let's do the scene like so, and of course it's made up of letters the and scene. Tha, scene. Okay, so when tha is in the beginning of the word, it takes this form tha, and then scene is at the end of the word, so it takes the full form, making it tha, scene, as so. And if I write it in a fluent way in one go, it would look like this, tha, scene. Then comes this new word tajim. Very interesting. So the way it's written is, first of all, this small little line here, this one is not very important, but I'll write it anyways just so you know. So this small little line is not important, and then it goes like this, and then it is like so. So this is just the way of calligraphy, right? This is just a beautiful way of writing tajim. This is equivalent to writing just this line this small little vertical line. This is enough, tajim, right? All right, so let's break it down. This is made up of the letters tha and jim, like so. So when tha is in the beginning of the word, of course it normally takes this form, right? That's what we covered here. But when it's joining jim, it takes a little bit of extra tilt downwards. So jim can join it here, like so. Tha, jim. I'll write once more. So I'll write tha, and then I'll join it with the jim here. Tha, jim. Then is ta, ha. So I'll mimic this ta here, small little line which is not necessary. So this is ta, ha, and this is of course equivalent to the this way of writing, ta, ha. So these two dots are on top of this construct, so this is definitely ta, and ha. Ta, ha. And you take this first form of ta, and then you just tilt it a little and then join a ha here, ta, ha. Then comes noon, kha. Okay, so I'll just mimic what's there, a small little line, and then going down like this, noon, kha. And this is the case where the dots are very far apart. So this is definitely not the dots of ta. The dots of ta would always be very close to each other. These dots have a lot of distance between them, so they belong to two different alphabets or letters. So let me show you what this looks like. So first of all, a simplified version would be just a small line, a little tilt down, and like so. Noon, kha. It's made up of the letters noon. This is a very big noon. Okay, noon and kha, right? So you can take the first part of the noon which we have learned so far. It would always be like this. When you join it with these constructs like jim, ha and kha, you will tilt it down a little so you can make the next letter, which is ha or kha or jim, and then you put the dot of kha somewhere here. It could be here as well, it doesn't matter, anywhere in this area one dot will represent kha. So this is noon kha, as written here, noon kha. Then is ya ha, and it's very good that it is here because I'm going to show you the difference. So this is small little line which is insignificant, and then something like this, and then there's two dots right next to each other here. So what is this? So any two dots beneath any construct would be a ya. So first I'll write a simplified form, which is this one, with two dots appearing here. Yeah, this is very beautiful actually. I should pat myself at the back. Ya. This is made up of two letters, ya and ha. Ya ha. So notice, if you are noticing that sometimes I'm making very big letters, sometimes some small letters, it's just because I'm using this plastic pen and plastic surface, so it's very hard to write without any friction which you experience with a paper and pen or a pencil or paper and pencil. That friction is not what I experience, so it's very hard to draw. So I can't draw, I cannot write exactly in proportion, so forgive me for that. Just focus on the shapes, not the lines. So this is ya and ha. Ya and ha. Yes, where were we? Ya and ha. So this ya will always take this form when it's in the beginning of the word, and then it's a ha, so it's tilt down and ha. You can also make it like this. You can put these dots here as well. That would be understood, and you can also put these dots here because they are in the vicinity of this construct, and there is no construct which contains two dots in the middle. None of these constructs contains two dots in the middle, so it's never going to happen. So when that happens, this is definitely the dots of a ya, which is here, ya ha. Now comes another interesting example. Look at this. Here is one letter, one dot, and then there is another dot here. So there are two dots, but notice they are far apart. They are not like these two dots here, which are right next to each other, right? So they can't be ya because they are very far apart. So what are these? So first I'll give you a simplified version. And then I'm going to tell you what these are, if you have not guessed already. So what is that alphabet which has one dot below it? If your answer is ba, then it's a correct answer. So this word is made up of ba and jim, which is ba takes this form, and then you make it a little down So ba and jim, and I can rewrite it like so fluently. Ba and jim, and this dot actually can also appear here sometimes, but then you have to make sure that doesn't look like a kha, right? So you have to be careful about that. And this is too, yeah, this is okay now. Ba jim. We were here, ba jim, and we are almost at the end of this lesson also, so I'll just see if I can fit both of them on this page. The next word is ya mim. It's written like so. This is horrible. Yeah, this is better. Ya mim. So definitely this is made up of the word letters ya and mim, right? So ya takes this form, ya, and mim joins it like so, becomes ya mim, and I can write it fluently like so, ya mim, like so. You can make it beautiful by taking ya a bit up and then making a mim and then down. Something like this. Ya mim. And the last one is ba mim. So it's written very strangely, at least the ba part, which is just some way of calligraphy, but it is very equal to writing just like so. And this is definitely ba plus full form of mim, like so, ba mim. So first form of ba and then mim. It's interesting, this word construct, because it doesn't mean anything in Arabic as I know of, but it does look like ba mim is bum and in Urdu bum means bomb in English, so this is a way to write bum. Okay, in English this bum also, this move your bum. All right, so that concludes this this exercise. I'll see you in the other one. So shukran and assalamu alaikum.